Hello, this is Dr. Eric Bricker, and thank you for watching AHealthcareZ. Today we're going to go super casual with the AHealthcareZ t-shirt, and I want to talk about saving money on skin creams. So this is a real-life example that happened to our family just the other day, and I thought it was a perfect example of how you as an individual or as an employer can lower your spend on prescription skin creams. Okay, so this is obviously related to dermatology, but it also relates a lot to primary care physicians, whether it be pediatricians or family practice doctors or general internists, because they prescribe a lot of skin creams as well. One of the major issues with a lot of skin creams is the issue of formulary versus non-formulary, and that's true for a lot of dermatologic services in general, because many of the creams or treatments, what have you, are considered to be cosmetic and not medical. So just know that when you're dealing with the skin, there are just a lot of non-formulary medications. There's a lot of non-covered sources. So number one, you're going to want to check that, whether it be, let's just talk prescriptions here, specifically with your pharmacy. Those are the people that are going to know what's formulary or non-formulary for you, for your particular insurance plan and PBM. Okay, point number 2. 1.5 we'll say. Okay, generic versus brand. Even if it is formulary, there are many brand name creams and lotions for the skin. Super expensive, several $100s per tube. However, it's not available generic, but if there's a different percentage concentration or a different form, in other words, going from, let's say, a lotion to a cream, that moves it from being brand to generic. So that's the second thing you want to keep in mind, is not only formulary versus non-formulary, but brand versus generic. Okay, fine. Let's say you find something that's formulary and generic. Fantastic. How do we get to that? Okay. It's important to note, as I just mentioned, that there are creams, ointments, and lotions. So all these things come in tubes, but they are various forms. They're different prescriptions. They're different medications. They have different patents. So just know that if the actual ingredient, the actual medication itself, if it's dissolved in a cream versus dissolved in an ointment versus dissolved in a lotion, that changes the name of the medication, it changes the patent, and it changes the price, it changes the fact whether it's on formulary or not, okay? So it's super important. Okay, let's do a specific example. So we have Cutivate lotion. Okay, my family, we have a long family history of eczema. There are literally textbooks like this big about eczema. Okay, for some people it's mild, for some people it's incredibly severe. Okay, it's oftentimes treated with a steroid cream or lotion or ointment. Okay, great. So Cutivate is actually fluticasone. That's the actual name of the medication. Okay, it's 0.05%. Oftentimes they're for sort of very low concentrations. The Cutivate, not only is it non-formulary, it's obviously only available in a brand. It's $365 for a little tube this big. Okay, so when they told us that at the pharmacy, I'm like, hey, we got to do something about this. So what I did was I looked up to see if there were any alternatives. There are other forms of fluticasone. You can get it as a cream. It's both generic and it's formulary. Guess what its cost is? $2.60. Okay, when we called the pediatrician's office, they said, okay, well, if it's too expensive, we can give you a sample. Aha, that's it. So because a pharmaceutical representative had been promoting this particular lotion in the office and had offered free samples, that's why, or that's part of the reason why, they prescribed it. We said, no thank you, we don't want the samples, they're not going to last forever, we're going to have to fill it eventually for the $365. We don't want to do that. Is there a way you could prescribe something else? She said, sure, we'll switch it from the lotion to the cream. Fantastic, $2.60, problem solved. Now, as a layperson, as an employee, family member, what I use is healthwarehouse.com. It's an online pharmacy. It's based out of Ohio. It has fantastic resources in terms of looking up brand name medications and providing prices, and also looking up alternatives as well, whether it be the generic. Sometimes it even gives you the therapeutic alternative as well. So if you're having a hard time kind of figuring out what your options are, then Health Warehouse is a good place to start. I have no connection with them. It's not going to solve all your problems, but it is a good resource, okay? And that's all I wanted to share today. Very practical advice about how you can lower your cream, lotion, and ointment costs. And thank you for watching AHealthcareZ.